Howdy folks, and welcome back to How to WoW, Add-ons and more. Now, you remember that ElvUI Shadow and Light that we saw in the Twitch app? I went ahead and grabbed that, and here we go. This is it, and it's very similar setup to the regular ElvUI. So we're just going to hit continue here, and we're going to go through and enable all the parts. Didn't get any notification that it enabled. AFK mode is enabled. Move blizzard frames. Yep. There we go. We've enabled that. We're not going to do either one of these, so we're just going to skip that and we're finished. Wait for the reload. And here we are. Okay, now, one of the things I want to do right off, since I'm on my Paladin, I'm going to open up Voodoo real quick, and we need to disable this. So let's go to Tools, Panel Wizard, and then Move, and we are just going to delete everything because we don't need it, not as a tank. So there it goes. Goodbye to all. And done. There. No more voodoo over there. Now, taking a look at the new AFK that it does, you get yourself a little wave and then you start walking, and that's pretty much it. And it tells you up at the top, up here, how long you've been away from your keyboard for. It tells you what your guild is and your rank in the guild, even all kinds of good stuff, and has little things down here that it says at the bottom, but it's just one of those neat little things, something to play with. Nothing really special. Shadow and Light now has its own section under the \EC. Come in here and you can enable different features. This one is the threat. So we'll go ahead and enable that. And I wonder if I can do this somewhere else. What is that? Do we have that? I don't see the data bar. There are so many things. Like up here, there's a whole bunch of stuff stacked up. These are all mirror timers. Okay. Alternative power. Loot and alert frames. Error frame. Ghost frame. Yeah, I don't see anything to identify. Stupid thing. Come on now. There we go. Okay, that's the arena frames. What's this one behind it? Boss frames. Okay. Couldn't see it because they're stacked up like that. Alright, well, okay. So we've got just the raid frames, 40-man raid frames, party frames. All that stuff is fine. I'm not going to worry about that. That can just stay right there. Where, oh where, is this data panel? Enabled SnL data panel 1. Huh. Let's see here. Not going to worry with that down there. Let's see here. Modules? Out of range indicator? Checked texture. Highlight the button of the spell with the real effect until the area is selected. Okay, I'm not worried about that. Don't care about that. Don't care about that because I don't have much of a background, and what little I do, I want it to be black. I want to see that something's not there. Vehicle bar, I'm not going to mess with. We'll leave that alone. Let's see here. The skins. Let's see here. ElvUI normal. What about... Yeah, I don't see anything special for shadow and light. So what about doing that? Of course, gotta reload to do that, but that's okay, we'll do that in a minute. Merchant frame. I don't think I'm going to worry about that because I have immersion. Blizzard. Talking head frame. We're going to leave that as is. There's really not a whole lot to change with the shadow and light. It just gives you a new AFK mainly, which I really like the new AFK. It's one of those things, because I get up a lot. I tend to wander away from my computer rather frequently, and it's something that's nice to look at whenever I come back. I like the panning around my character and having her walking and all that. It's just neat. So, I had talked about Auctionator before, and that is what we're going to take a look at today. Now, in order to take a look at Auctionator, we have to go back to the city. Which means I gotta fly all the way over here, go back to a portal, pop over to a city, preferably one with an auction house close by, which is why we're going to Org. Come on. You can do it. Just a little more. Thank you. Alright, let's fly up here. Fly through the cave. And there's the auction house. And there's a lot more people over here, it looks like. Oh yeah, look at this. See? Little bit more people. Still, it's not bad. Okay, now this is Auctionator. Alright? Now, it looks incredibly different if you're not using ElvUI. But the main thing that's the same, these three buttons right here are your default buttons that you have on vanilla WoW. Alright? They just look different. These three right here are Auctionator. So, one of the things you're going to want to do right off the bat, very first thing you do, you click on the Sell tab. And then you run a full scan. Okay? It takes a little bit of time. But let it do its thing. Don't rush it. Just sit back and play an app on your game for about 30 seconds to a minute. But it goes through and it scans every single item in the auction house. And you see it puts a lot of strain on the system. You see over here how everybody is really laggy. FPS is down to 8. It is scanning the entire auction house, getting prices on everything. Okay, this is how many auctions there are on the auction house. 105,650. That's just right now. Okay, if I wait until the weekend and scan it on a Saturday, there's going to be significantly more auctions. So, good practice is pretty much every day, the first time you go to the auction house for the day, go ahead and do a full scan. Take the time to do it. Now, I haven't done a cut here because I want you to see just how long it takes to do this. It is going through fairly quickly. This is just the regular start scanning. There is a slow scanning option if you're having problems with your computer, and I don't think I've ever used it. I might have a few years ago, but in recent memory, I don't think I've used it. But it shows you elapsed time so far. We're coming up on 2 minutes. Hey, this is a good chance to play yourself a quick game of Sudoku or something on your phone while you're waiting. It's really not that big a deal. But it's worth it to do the scanning because once it's done, every item that you have in your bags, if there is a listing for it in the auction house, you will see the price on a tooltip. And I'll show you that as soon as it's done here. We passed 2 minutes. And it is done. There are almost 9,000 items in the database right now. That's different items, okay? Basically, 105,000 auctions, 9,000 items. You're looking at a lot of ores, stuff like that are in here. Cloth, because you can only have 200 items per stack on those larger things like the fell slate ore. So you end up with a lot of different auctions, a lot of listings rather. Now, the next thing you want to take a look at, go into options, and you can set your basic options, alright? Okay, for me, this is what I do. I set mine at 48 hours. So every time I go to the auction house and I post a listing, it automatically defaults to 48 hours. Alright? Come over to tooltips. Everything is shown. That's good. Looks like everything is good there. Okay, undercutting. It shows you how much it will undercut for prices. So if it's something that's more than 5 silver, it's going to undercut the lowest listed item by 5 copper. Alright? And if it's over 500 gold, it'll undercut it by 1 gold. Alright? That's a pretty decent idea. Starting price discount 5%, that's fine. We're cool with that. Everything default, we're all good there. Really, the only thing to change is the default listing time. And I don't really need to take a look at anything else. It's all good. So now I hit my B to open up my bags. And let's see about these chaos crystals. Alright, now you see I moused over it and the tooltip popped up. And down there at the bottom of the tooltip, auction, 270 gold. That's each. So if I drag this up here, which I don't like that it can't find that. It puts the whole stack in there, scans the auctions to make sure there's no updates. So now it's checking all the Chaos Crystal updates, and there was an update. The ones that were for 270 gold sold. So now what's left are the 275s. Hey, that's that's pretty neat. Now here, this is something you need to pay attention to. Your max quantity per stack. I'm going to change this to 5. Alright? That gives me a maximum of 3 stacks. So, there we go. I can now create 3 auctions with 5 chaos crystals in each stack. Okay? In each auction. It's automatically going to run for 48 hours. And each one of them is going to cost me 29 copper to post. Alright? If they sell, I'm going to make 1,373 gold and 75 silver per auction. So I'm going to go ahead and create those 3 auctions, and there we go. It's done. And there's mine. It even says yours. So you don't undercut yourself. And then the remaining 2 go right back into my inventory over here, so that they're there whenever I get more of those chaos crystals. And that's it. Now, as far as buying, it's pretty simple stuff. Say I wanted to get more of this Shaldarai silk. Alright. So I'll come over here and I'll just tap in the Shaldarai. And you know what? I'll just leave it Shaldarai to give you an example of what it does. Just doing Shaldarai. Silk is the only thing in here. There's not anything else. So if there were other types of items, let me see if I can find something. Okay, light weave. There's probably something of that in here. If we go light weave, yeah, 10 pages of auctions. There's definitely other stuff in here. There we go. Yeah, there's 3 different things. There's light weave leggings. There's Lightweave Breaches of the Aurora. Yeah, that's Mogget kicking in, showing me what they look like. And then there's the Lightweave Cloth. I wanted the cloth, so I click on that. And now I can just go through and I select one of them, hit buy, and it makes sure that it's still there, it hadn't changed, and I can buy it. There it is. I bought that one. Now there's the next auction, which has 3 stacks of 1. So I can click on that one, buy one, buy another, and that's all I wanted. So I can click done and be done, but I'm not going to be rude to that guy. I'll go ahead and buy his 3rd one. And, okay, I don't want to buy anymore, because the next one is a stack of 34. It's going to cost me 61 gold to get it. Yeah, I don't think so. Not a bad price. It's really not on the Lightweave, given that the Shelter Silk is 3 times that. Come over here, and here are my 1 auctions. So I just click open all, and I collect them all. I went from 49 to 57 of the Lightweave. There we go. That easy. Auctionator is a nice thing to have if you are a collector, if you make things for the auction house, if you're mining or collecting anything that's intended for the auction house. It's a good idea to have either Auctionator or Auctioneer. Again, that's your preference. I prefer Auctionator because it's simple. Auctioneer is significantly more advanced. It has a lot more details to it. But that is going to do it for today. If you enjoyed the episode or found it useful, please go ahead and leave a like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and let me know over on Discord or Twitter. I will have the links down in the description below. And we will see you next time. Bye now.